A nice little glow to them as well. But anyway, welcome to the rest of the world. We've got a lot to go through, and at first you're probably hit with a bunch of things off the bat. You can see on the left there, double tap to fly. That's right, we got fly mode in Fortnite creative. Obviously makes sense, you're trying to build a map. And we have a lot of things called prefabs, and they're essentially pre-built structures from either the game or from Fortnite Creative Mode itself that you can use as kind of like a tool to pick from and use for your current build. So for example, we've got a couple of obstacle courses here that you can just use for fun. And then from that, we've got parts of towns that you can use as buildings. So as you can see, we got things from Lucky Landing here, things from Tilted Towers here. Can I get a F in the chat for my factories out there, boys? That's right, there's factories in here. We got the club from yonder. We got, you know, the modern houses, all the stuff from Pleasant Park, stuff like that, retail row, the shops. And as we scroll down the list, we move over to some prop items, so things from the game that you know you can destroy for mats and stuff like that. Trees, for example, signs, cars, all that kind of stuff. And then we've got this here, which is actually new to creative. It's a cube gallery, and essentially it's just a bunch of blocks that have different colors, and some have effects. You saw it on my code Locky sign just before. And yeah, just to give you a quick scroll through of every option available, what you can take, and I'm gonna show you just exactly how these things work in just a second. All right, so let's say we wanna get some of these cubes out, we wanna get some of these trees out. We equip both of them, and it adds it to our inventory. Oh, the sun's going out. So after it puts it into your inventory, you can select it with your keybind and it will pull out a porta-fort. Oh, wow. I wonder where we had that from. Yeah, so think of those mini-game porta-forts that we had in Playground right now. Essentially, every prefab is represented with a porta-fort, and you throw it, and it gives you a little preview of what you're going to throw, or at least the dimensions of what it's going to throw. And then that's what we've got, a little cube selecting thing. Now, at the current time, we've got 2 animated cubes, a light cube, 3 light cubes, actually, some base colors to work with, and some reflective colors. Kind of cool, actually. Didn't notice that. Now, these cubes are interesting because they are technically a prop. They don't apply to the normal kind of rules that other builds apply to. Like, say for stairs, for example, it's very 1x1. It has to fit in that 1x1. Props are different. They're like trees, all that kind of stuff. You can pick them up and you just chuck it down there in the middle. It's not restricted to that 1x1, you know, kind of format. And you can do a whole lot with this phone and some props, I'll tell you that much. Hey, you can have a look at the left for all the controls you can do. F to push it away from you, C to pull it in closer. You can actually rotate the piece, so you can rotate it all 3 ways. So clockwise, counterclockwise in either your pitch or roll. It's XYZ values, of course, just like that. And every time you hit tab, it shows you what you've done, and you can also reset the rotation by holding tab, and you'll go back to normal. And with the combination of the rotation tool, you can pull off some really cool kind of stuff. You can spam it, you can put it inside of each other, make some cool new objects that way. It's interesting. You can also make it not apply to gravity as well. If you press G, it'll just hang there in the air. Lots of cool stuff can be done just with those properties there. You can make cool parkour maps, hide and seek maps. I can't wait to see what the community does with this Fortnite creative mode, and I can't wait to play the maps. It's going to be an amazing experience, I'm telling you now. And we're definitely not done just there. You can also snap it to a grid. So say if you wanted to make sure that you had these perfectly in place next to each other, you can grid snap it, and it will show you the grid number of what it's doing. So right now it's doing 16, 8, 4, 2. So it's just kind of like a spacing method that you can do, just so you can keep the blocks nice and flush with each other so you don't have any gaps or anything. Man, that is a really bright block. Rotation can be used with props that you already know in games. Let's turn grid snap off, and let's just rotate it a bunch and just drop one off there. You can just make 1,000 cars, like equip it, or you can add to a chest, which I'll show in just a second. It'll add it to your inventory, and yeah, you can spawn ammo as well on the consumable page. All types of ammo, all types of grenades, all that cool stuff you see on screen. Again, no C4. And then last but not least, we got the chest feature. So like I showed you before, if I go to weapon or a consumable, I go add to chest. I hit the chest right here, and I go create chest. It'll put one in game. You can, of course, pick it up, move it around, all that cool stuff. Place it wherever you want. You can make it float if you want. All that stuff. Search the chest, and guess what comes out? The item you put in. This is going to make some awesome game modes. What I personally love to see from the devs is maybe a way to maybe get that to be a random thing, but it's a llama, and I think as of right now, currently, oh, you actually can pick up the llama now. You couldn't do that yesterday. And of course, it goes without saying, this is in progress. This may not be the final version that actually sees it tomorrow, because this will be like a week old technically. So we'll see how we go. Look how many friends I have. I have a lot of friends. And if you make your way over to this part of the island, it's essentially just a rift to get back to the hub. Also importantly, you've got your escape menu, which has your island settings. So these are...